beginning.
Start at the beginning.
Yeah, like 5 major things that have happened in our lives. We met on Instagram. We got married. We moved to Hendersonville, Tennessee. I guess only 4 major things. And now we're running a coffee roasting shop.
I'm gonna tell them about
Instagram and all that?
everything from the beginning.
Those can be other videos.
Okay, so right now we are driving on, I think, Highway 95, heading back from Minneapolis,
Minnesota,
to Chicago, and then Chicago back home to Hendersonville, Tennessee. And so, yeah, we got about 400 miles ahead of us on this trip.
altogether.
No, just today.
So it's like 800 miles.
Yeah, more like 900 because tomorrow's a little bit longer of a day.
Oh, that's true.
So we're gonna film a video of the whole entire 900 miles long.
No, yeah, with my sexy sick voice. Sounds so, I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, Anna wanted to get sick on the trip, so.
That's always my goal.
Yeah.
When important things are coming, get sick.
She likes attention, so it's kind of her way.
Attention seeker, I prefer to be sick. Yeah.
We just got back from a roasting school from Mill City Coffee Roasters in Minneapolis.
And we toured Cafe Imports.
Cafe Imports, yeah, which is like a block away from Mill City.
Yeah, they're a green coffee importer, so they have like this huge warehouse full of like 7 million pounds of coffee, just like all over the place. Really cool.
And yeah, it was great being able to meet them and kind of get a little sliver of their expertise and being able to apply it from here on out. If you guys don't know yet, we do own a coffee roasting business.
We run it. Technically. We'll get into that.
Get into that later. But so we run a coffee roasting business in Hendersonville, Tennessee. And we took over on the 31st of August, so it's pretty recent. I believe it's what, the 29th today?
So it's almost been
29th of...
Oh, that basically has been a month.
Yeah, it's been a month. It's September 29th, so...
But we've been there, like, working, technically, for, like, 3 months before that. So it's been, like, 4 months since we've, like, been there working, learning.
Being trained how the previous owner would roast, and so...
How he'd run in the shop.
But for me, personally, I kind of wanted to know that what I was learning was correct, so that's kind of the purpose for me behind this trip and learning how to roast coffee, so it's very beneficial. I learned a lot of things I didn't know, and a lot of things that kind of gave me affirmation on things I already did know, so that was great.
I took a lot of notes, did a lot of sitting.
Because she was sick?
It was great. I definitely still learned a lot. I feel like I have more knowledge and more understanding of how to roast, so when like we get back and I can actually like roast at our shop, I think it'll still be really good. I feel like I still got a lot of like answers to questions that I had, so it's definitely helpful. And they're like really cool people that we can like call and like ask questions if we need to on like our machine and everything, so like super accessible and doesn't like end here. So that's really cool.
So they are trainers, the people that we learned from with the SCA, which is the Special Coffee Association. Specialty Coffee Association. And that's something that I'm very interested in being a part of. Basically, they're just geniuses when it comes to everything from barista training to coffee roasting to business to learning how to taste coffee, which that sounds weird, but learning how to identify certain different tastes.
Sensory analysis.
That's what it's called. It's very sophisticated sounding, but anyway, so it's pretty complex, and there's different levels. You have your beginner, intermediate, and your professional level, and so they're going to be hosting some more training sessions at their facility, so I definitely am going to be looking into that here in the future, which we may, if I do it, we may film some of it.
now I guess we can rewind to how we even got here. Side note though, Minneapolis, new favorite city to visit. It's amazing. It's also been really cold, which has been really nice because it's been so hot in Tennessee. So it's been a nice, refreshing, chilly time. But basically, when we moved to Hendersonville...
Well, let's back up to popcorn maker days, right? Or do you want to...
No, let's talk more about, like, we'll do that another one. That's a little sneaky hint. Popcorn days. What does that mean? So when we moved to Hendersonville, Clay had looked up, Googled basically roasters that were in the area, and the only one that popped up was one called Portside Java that was actually relatively close to our apartment. So he called the guy and asked him if he could go shadow him basically for the day, and he said totally, if you can come by. So Clay shadowed him, and was it the first day that he told you? Yeah, the first day that he like shadowed him, like kind of hung out with the owner. The owner was like, yeah, I just kind of really want to sell. And so that like really sparked our interest.
Well, you're skipping a lot.
I'm not skipping a lot.
You are. You said the reason why he wanted to sell was because, number one, he's 67 years old. Just didn't really have a whole lot of energy. There were some medical things that happened to him. And so he said that it could, have room for more business, but he kind of wanted to keep it a hobby from what I gathered. As long as it paid the bills, he was happy. He's retired, and so he's like, I really want to see this thing excel, I just don't want to do it. And then
he's been working hard for the past 6 years.
Yeah, he had it for 6 years,
so.
And I was like, well, shoot, dang, I want to take this thing over. So,
but if you know us, we are not so financially inclined.
No,
for anything.
We're broke, always.
We're always broke. We're learning to be smarter with money, but we've been pretty stupid. So we're paying for that now. And so even though we knew all that, we were like, well, let's just go to the bank and just ask them, because you never know. Like, it's not like we're bad with money now, so maybe, I don't know. We just weren't sure. We went to the bank. It was pretty obvious no.
Yeah, they were like, you need at least 20% down at the very least to get a business loan.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, well, we still don't have 20%.
Yeah, so we're still hopeful, but kind of like leaving it with like the mindset of, I don't think it's going to work out. We'll see what we're going to do here.
Maybe someday in like 2 years or 3 years when we have better credit or whatever, we could pull it off. But then it's like, well, who knows if he's going to sell it within 3 years. He said that there was already somebody else interested in it. So it was just kind of, we were hopeful, but it's like a hope for the best, but expect the worst type of situation.
And also, we had just moved in January, so we had been in Hendersonville for a little over 3 months at this point. And we've been going to this one church, and we just weren't like feeling super involved. And we've been there for 3 months, so usually I feel like after like that long of a period of time if like that's your home church. So we decided to visit a different church, and we visited a church called the Movement Church that was actually in Hendersonville. The one before, we actually drove into Nashville every Sunday. So we went to the Movement Church. We sat in the back. It was a great service, great worship, and then we kind of like...
because we were late, we sat in the back.
Yeah, we were late, but also your first time, we kind of just didn't really... I don't know. We just snuck in, basically snuck out. That was it.
We're usually front row Joe type of people.
Yeah, I like the front row. Yeah. It's too distracting to sit like where you can see people, because I will like just people watch and then I miss the whole sermon.
I'll look at my phone the entire sermon if I sit in the back. So.
Yeah. So we basically snuck in, snuck out. And we did think, we'll go there next Sunday, but like we just kind of didn't want to like mingle. I don't know. Like sometimes your first time, you just don't really want to like meet a bunch of people, because if you don't come back, then it's just like weird. So we came back the next Sunday, and we went straight for the front row. We enjoyed the whole service, and we did stay after and like talk to people. And we met a couple named Tim and Ashley, and they invited us to their community group that was on that Wednesday. And we thought, well, why not? Like, we want community, and this is exactly what we were asking for. So we went to the community group that Wednesday, and it was amazing. Their community groups, the community group that we went to that time, we're still in now, and it's amazing. Great people, great conversation, like doing life together. And basically we split up to boys and girls, or men and women, whatever, and like to do prayer. And so Clay, basically, you can take those parts. It's really your part.
Well, basically, I mean, I didn't get into details. I didn't really know just anybody. Really, I didn't even know Tim and Ashley. They had just invited.
They were
us.
acquaintances.
Yeah, I mean, we recognized them basically. We didn't know really anything about them personally, and so I didn't really feel comfortable, especially financially, like kind of throwing up all of our background to people.
Yeah, you don't want to throw up all your issues.
Not right off the
Right
bat.
at the first community group.
It makes you look really, really weird.
The second one,
Yeah.
go for it.
And so, anyways, I don't remember exactly what I said, but I think it was something to the fact of there's really cool business opportunity, and I know that God isn't hindered by money, and He can make stuff work. And so, it's like, yeah, it's like my dream to do this specific business, and yeah, we're just kind of praying for a way in a sense. So Tim, basically, after I had, kind of spit up some information, he asked if we were interested in investors, and we said no. I mean, we haven't really thought about it.
Because we don't know anyone.
Yeah, we don't know.
You don't ask strangers to give you a bunch of money.
Yeah, we don't know a single soul in Hendersonville, at least at that time.
Well, we do.
Oh, yeah. I guess, okay, we knew two people.
Basically four, I guess.
Yeah,
5, 6.
Because they're kids.
And then their family. Yeah,
Okay.
we do know people.
We do know
if they watch
we do know
this,
some
we
people.
do know you
Yeah.
and do acknowledge your existence
We do.
in our lives.
But as far as people, like, investing and whatnot, like, it just wasn't really on our radar at all. And so he's like, well, if money's the only thing kind of stopping you, he's like, I would love to help out. I've been praying for a business to invest in. And he said, it sounds like a really cool opportunity. So he's like, I'll just mention it. And if you guys want it to happen, basically, come and talk to me about it. Not even, I mean, the next time we saw him, we're like, yes, we definitely want to partner with you. You're a great guy. We like you. So,
Great, like, first impression.
Yeah.
Like for someone that was basically offering to, like, invest in a company with people they didn't know, and just, like, the community group and, like, all of that, was, like, great first impressions of all these people, to where we felt really comfortable and, like, trusting of them. And obviously they felt like they trusted us if they're willing to invest in people that they don't even know.
and great second and third impression, too.
Yeah, great pastor as well.
Yeah.
Took us out to dinner. Great impression.
Yeah.
This all happened. I would say the second Sunday is when all this really happened, because
Yeah.
first Sunday we were, in and out. So the second Sunday felt more like a first, because we actually talked to people.
Yeah.
But just the church as a whole was, like, just amazing, and it was, like, almost like an instant, like, yeah, this is where we're supposed to be. It was, like, really awesome.
A little tidbit. It's really easy to make a good first impression, but what really matters is the second and the third. Because it's hard to fake somebody the second and third time. Tim and Ashley, awesome friends, parents,
Yes.
and couple. Anyways, so Naughty, I mean, I don't know really the timeline. After we told Tim, yeah, we want to do it, I called the previous owner, the owner at the time, and I said, hey, are you still wanting to sell it? And he said, yeah. So a month later, I would say, probably about a month later, I was working underneath Scott.
You missed an important part, though.
What?
So, Tim had offered to invest. We were super upfront, super honest about our finances, because we don't ever want to hide that from someone that's willing to give us money. We never want them to think that we have it all together money-wise. So we were super honest. He had the idea and offered to us that he would just buy it for us and we would run it, which was like, it made me cry, because I was like, well, who are you? Like, we just met you and you already trust us enough to run a business that you're paying for and you don't even know like much about us.
Yeah.
It was pretty amazing, and it all felt very God-led, because like we were at a place where we really weren't sure what we were going to do, and going to this church was just kind of like, like we'll just try it. And it just, everything that's flowed from us just going to that church, you know, twice basically, has been like really amazing, and like God's really been like leading us like to having more like freedom in our lives. I feel like we've all been kind of like stuck in a box because of finances, because of jobs, because of our age, because we are young. And this, like everything that's come out of going to this church has just been like freedom. I feel a lot more free. I feel a lot more happy. I feel a lot more relaxed. Like everything's just been really positive, and meeting Tim and Ashley have been really positive. They're great kids. They're great people. Ashley's a great friend and like role model, is like a woman of God. So like we've just really hit the jackpot here in Hendersonville. So we're very lucky. Like once everything was finalized, you know, all paperwork, all the nitty gritty little stuff, then Clay and I kind of were working under
the previous owner,
but really working under Tim.
Yeah.
And I was kind of...
I was more so learning underneath the previous owner for 3 months or so.
Yeah, Clay was learning to roast, and then I was working on all these secret things, basically, that the previous owner couldn't know about, because...
You can see that.
Yeah, I know, it sounds really bad.
No,
I wasn't trying to be sneaky, but like we were trying to pre-plan things for when we took over, so that's what I was working on, because that's more me. I do all the graphics and the social media and the online website and all that stuff. So I was more working on future things. Clay was focusing on learning the roasting. So, and that was 3 months. Took a lot of patience in those 3 months. It was kind of hard to just wait and wait and wait, but it was worth it.
Way worth it. I mean, for the first time, I'm fully content with where I'm at. It's a weird feeling. Like I don't know. I would say I've never really been good at working underneath somebody, and maybe that's something that I personally need to work on. But I just, I don't know. I'm just not very good at it. So to be in a place where I could show up and dress however I want to work, well, I can't show up in pajamas. I probably could, but it probably wouldn't be all that appealing looking. Yeah, but I mean, you get what I mean. I can show up and roast coffee, listen to podcasts, listen to music. I can do my thing, deliver coffee, meet new people every day, and it's just the dream, really.
It's like the first time I don't feel like sad or like upset that I have to go to work. And like I freely go to work on days off to do other work things, because it's like I don't mind. Like it's enjoyable, and it is like a creative space for me. I've never had a job where I feel like I can be creative and come up with ideas, or like doing the graphics. Like I never have had a job where I get to like do my own thing that I really enjoy.
Yeah, I feel like half our day is always spent kind of sitting down thinking, what should we do next?
Yeah, it's a very like dare to dream job.
Yeah.
Like there's exciting things that we're planning for the future of the business, and also like working with Tim and Ashley, because they are the owners. Like the four of us have worked really like collaboratively, and like it's been really smooth. Like all of us pretty much agree with all of our ideas, and it's just been like seeing how we the four of us work together has also really shown us that this is right. Like this is what we're supposed to be doing, and it's just really cool. I think that's what's really amazing.
That I've never really worked with somebody so well. Like interest, everything just matches up. I would say inherently, Anna and I and Ashley and Tim were very open to ideas. I mean, there are some things that I am opinionated on for sure, especially when it comes to coffee. But as far as just business, I don't know. I can be opinionated, but I would say I can be, not always, I can be humble enough to where if my idea contradicts with everybody else's, I'll go with everybody else's idea because I trust them. But then there are times where I'm like, no, like I'm positive, like this is not how you do it, and then they trust.
But they trust you.
Yeah, then they trust their judgment. So it's very giving, I would say, on both sides.
There's a lot of trust between all of us, which is just so cool because obviously, like, we haven't known each other that long, but there's just, it's there. I don't know. And there's like, if we make a mistake, it's not a big deal. Like, we're learning. Like,
we're not professionals by any means.
And we haven't been in a place of like being in charge or like running something, but still being under someone else. So it's still like, if we do something wrong, it still lands on them as well. So like, it's just like a learning stage. Like, we actually feel like we're on the right track. We've been in a lot of different jobs since we got married, and even before, where we kept feeling like we were on the right track, like things were good, great things were promised, like the future was looking bright, and then nothing ever
kind of let down.
Yeah, everything was kind of a letdown, not in like the worst way, like they were still great jobs with great people, but like it just never led to like where we were promised or where we thought it was going. And this is like the first thing where it feels like this is actually working, and it's actually leading to what we're planning and dreaming about, and that's what makes this so like special. All we had to do is move across the country to get what we want, I guess. But it's not even just what we want. It feels more, I don't know how to like explain it. Like, it doesn't feel like this is what we always wanted, we're getting what we want. Like, it doesn't feel like that. But I don't know how else to explain it.
Like, you don't feel like this is what you've always wanted?
It is what I've always wanted, but it's not like, I don't have that feeling like, I'm so glad we moved here so that we got what we want.
Yeah, I mean, this wasn't even in the mindset or even in the...
Yeah, this isn't even what we moved to Tennessee for. So, like, the fact that it even came out of it, it was kind of like what we realized when this all happened was like, God used other things in our life to get us over here, to surprise us with this wonderful gift.
Yeah.
Which is what makes this so amazing, because it's not what we expected, and it's not what we had in mind, but it is inherently like so wonderful and so great, and has like impacted our lives so much.
Yeah, if God would have said like, Clay, I want you to move with your wife over to Tennessee to buy out a coffee shop, I would be like, number one, what coffee shop? And number two, no.
And we want you to go to this small church.
Yeah, it just
wouldn't have.
It would have been so.
Us.
Yeah, it would have been so far fetched and like just like I don't think that's a reality.
Yeah. And nothing against small churches.
No.
It kind of made it sound that way, but we just always have liked bigger churches.
I've always gone to massive churches.
Yeah.
In Oregon.
But it really shows going to this small church how important it is to have real community with people, and it's hard to get that at bigger churches. So, I mean, it is totally possible at bigger churches, but we just weren't getting it in our church. And that could have been on us, but it was just like so instant when we went to the movement that it was like...
We just like instantly fit in. It's cool.
Yeah, instantly fit in, and it's not like the people there are even like us. There aren't like...
Not at all. Not a lot
like,
of people. I'm kind of weird, so not a lot of people.
Both of us are. And we're from Oregon, so like, I mean, there are some people that are like from California and like other places, but it's like we don't have a lot of similarities with other people, but there's that we all love Jesus and we want community and we want to share life with each other, that it's like it doesn't matter. You don't need to have everything in common.
What's up? So last time we saw you guys, the camera died, and so now we are back at the shop, and...
What are you doing?
Now we're back at the shop, and we just wanted to wrap it up, and...
I think the ending kind of made sense. We just were talking about the church. The church is great. People are great. I don't really know exactly how to end it, but anyways, we're going to be posting videos every single Wednesday about the shop, life, random things, kind of just all over the place, but we're trying to talk about work and like what we're doing more often, and subscribe because we'll post new videos so you'll get notified.
I think every Wednesday, right?
I already said that.
Really?
Yes.
Every Wednesday, new video. All right. Bye.